there's any justice in the world, this show will make Jenna Ortega a star. It is one of the most incredible genre performances, particularly by an actress, that I have ever seen. Wowie, wow, wow. All right, so this is my review, my non-spoiler review of Wednesday. And it is ridiculous that this show did not come out for Halloween. It is obviously a perfect fit with that season. I know Netflix had Dahmer, The Witcher, and Cabinet of Curiosities already lined up. Wow, Netflix, booked and busy. But I think this could have come out the same week as Cabinet as counter-programming to make the Halloween window. Still, Wednesday is very fall season overall, and it's coming out now for Thanksgiving, and is an okay fit with that holiday, I guess. It has some pilgrims in it. I don't know. It really should have been Halloween. But here, at least, it'll have the space in the Netflix release schedule to hopefully dominate, because Dahmer and The Witcher in particular really took up a lot of attention. So I don't know if Wednesday would have gotten the attention she deserves if she'd come out closer to those projects. And I think this deserves to be a huge hit, totally in part to an incredible performance by Jenna Ortega. This should be a career-defining role for her. I am, as I said, absolutely blown away. Now, yes, some of us have already recognized the talented Ortega, but here she levels up to star status, delivering not just a great Wednesday Addams, but just a great performance, period. Such an incredible job. In fact, in one episode, there is a school dance where, let's just say, Wednesday has a very unique way of dancing. And if you're not already a huge fan of the character by that scene, you will absolutely adore Wednesday Addams after you see her dance. And Ortega just goes for it. It's incredible. You know, recently I talked about the appeal of Lady Gaga, and that she not only dares to be different, but she has the self-confidence to not apologize for it and to own it. And I think that's very much in Jenna Ortega's performance as well. I mean, I just thought it was one of the best things that I've ever seen anybody do. And the fact that Jenna Ortega was able to pull it off was really incredible and very commendable. I mean, this is the Jenna Ortega show, and what a show that is. Also, to be fair, this is the kind of feminist entertainment that I like to see. So I don't know if it's going to be for everybody, but I really liked it. Ortega's Wednesday is her own woman, extremely capable. Think a Goth Nancy Drew for the horror genre, but with plenty of dating options as well. She had a lot of dating options in town. And Tim Burton, he might be being used to sell, his name is being used to sell this show, and he did direct the first few episodes. But this is far more mainstream tonally than anything he's ever done. It doesn't have his fingerprints all over it, which I think is good, because I think everybody's a little tired of Tim Burton, as you can see from the way his last few projects were received. This is more in line with the Barry Sonnenfeld movies, which were quite popular and still very fondly remembered, so I think that was a strong choice. I think that was the way to go. And of course, in those movies, Wednesday was iconically played by Christina Ricci, who joins the cast here as well. Ricci has really come into her own as an adult actor. I've always said that Margot Robbie overshadowed her on Pan Am. Margot Robbie was good on Pan Am too, but Christina Ricci was great on that show. And she's good here on Wednesday, but if you want to see what Ricci can really do as an adult actress, go watch Yellow Jackets, where she has the chance to really shine. There are a lot of great performances here, though. Catherine Zeta-Jones and Luis Guzman are very camp and a lot of fun as Morticia and Gomez Addams, who went to the same school they are now sending Wednesday to. With Zeta-Jones especially given some interesting things to do as the show focuses on the mother-daughter relationship here, especially the fact that Morticia is a hard act to follow for Wednesday at Nevermore Academy. But they're very different. They both have carved out their own personalities. I hope there's a season 2, and I would love to further explore the Morticia-Wednesday relationship. I thought that was a really nice mother-daughter story that they had here, like one of the sub-stories. The show obviously has made the Addams Latino, although some would argue they always were, since, Gomez Addams is the name of the patriarch. And the show does a very nice job incorporating their Latino background organically, with Dia de los Muertos referenced multiple times during the show. I just think they could have done more with that, quite frankly. Wednesday listening to some cool Gothic Spanish language music in her room, I thought that was fantastic. And other nods like that. I think they did a really nice job with it. This is the best I've ever seen Gwendoline Christie outside of Game of Thrones. Perhaps the Game of Thrones curse is lifted. She's doing a lot with Netflix. She's also, of course, on Sandman, but I didn't think she did a very good job as the devil there. She's much better here. And a lot of tall people, particularly women, sometimes have an awkward physical presence, and they even sometimes choose to do that. But Christie is a master of posing gracefully, often channeling Christina Hendricks from Mad Men. I was like, wow, she knows how to stand in a dress with heels. I'm impressed. The rest of the Addams family isn't actually around that much. It's really the Wednesday show. I mean, they are only in a couple of episodes. Maybe Catherine Zeta-Jones and Luis Guzman were expensive. But Thing is around all the time as Wednesday's sidekick, so it still feels like the Addams family. Also, Fred Armisen is surprisingly good as Uncle Fester, who just shows up for one episode, episode 7, but is in it quite a bit in that episode. In fact, this is the best version of Uncle Fester I've ever seen. I'd love to see more of him. And Christopher Lloyd is a tough act to follow, but Fred Armisen did it. He's fantastic. Emma Myers is also an absolute delight as Wednesday's werewolf roommate and her total opposite. I love the way they divided the room between the two of them. While Hunter Doohan and Percy Hines White create a very nice love triangle for Wednesday. I thought that was great. I really liked it. So I was like, Wednesday, I don't think you can go wrong with these choices. In addition to the acting, the script is particularly good. Not only is Ortega given incredible lines, which she delivers flawlessly, and so good. They have such fun with the Wednesday Addams and the Addams family feel. But the mystery she's investigating is actually pretty interesting. It involves outcasts, and to keep that Northeast fall feel, it has pilgrims and Salem witch trials woven in, and I thought that was pretty effective. Wednesday, the show is dreamed up by Alfred Gough and Miles Millar, and if you look at where the psychiatrist has her office, they have their names are on the billing for that building. Like they have the businesses that are inside. So I thought that was a cute little nod. But anyway, they gave Superman the teen angst treatment back in the day with Smallville. And now I never got into that show, but I know it was quite popular. And seeing how well Wednesday is done here, I can now understand why. I'm like, wow, maybe Smallville was a pretty good show. I could kind of guess the villain very early on, and so at some points you would get to it. That's clearly the villain. But thankfully, as the show progressed, the mystery turned out to be much more complex than just one villain, and there were a lot of branches to investigate. So I stayed very engaged. But I mean, still wanting to find out who the villain was and kind of having an idea who it was, I think that maybe helped me want to, and also because Jenna Ortega was so amazing. But I binged this. This is 8 episodes. I binged it in 2 nights, 4 apiece, and I was highly entertained. The production design and costume design are also excellent and create the perfect backdrop for our story. Plus, the VFX are pretty good for a story about a boarding school where vampires, werewolves, sirens, and other outcasts are all students there. They didn't go overboard, but the VFX didn't let the concept down, I guess is the way I would describe it. But really, again, what makes this show special is Jenna Ortega as Wednesday. As I said, one of the best female genre performances I have ever seen. Huge fan of both Ortega and the character she's created here. I cannot say enough good things about her, and I hope that she levels up to a major movie franchise after this. But it would be hard to top this because, like other genre characters, the character is also so visually interesting, and the line delivery is so unique. This is really good stuff. Maybe there'll be a lot of Wednesdays because they've aged up the character a bit and, made her, have these romantic subplots. I suspect Wednesday could become a very popular Halloween costume in the years ahead, as so wonderfully reinvented here by Ortega and company. All right, so that's my review of Wednesday. All 8 episodes hit Netflix Wednesday, November 23rd. I predict most of you finish it before the end of the holiday weekend. Share those thoughts down below, subscribe today, and of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.